So the NBA season is officially here. We are just hours away from Cavs basketball as they will open up the preseason at home at Rocket Arena against the Chicago Bulls. I am so excited for this year. I know I said after how last season ended I wasn't going to get my hopes up, but you know how I am, you know how Cleveland fans are. What Koby Altman in the front office has me pumped up for this season. Really every issue I complained about to end last year was addressed. The Cavs now have a backup center in Thomas Bryant. Lonzo Ball, if he can stay healthy, is a huge addition because he solves the size issue that has plagued this team in the playoffs. I think he could make Mitchell and Garland work, but that's something I will explain later. I want this video to be a complete itinerary for the 2025-26 season and everything you need to know. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 60,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so heading into this season, I already made a video talking about the keys to a successful season for the Cavs. But heading into this year, I want to talk about some of the specific players that the Cavs brought in, how they have fixed some of the issues this team has had, and how the new guys can blend in with the stars this team already has. Lonzo Ball was of course the return the Cavs got in the Isaac Okoro trade. I love the move personally. It was a win-win. Listen, I love Isaac Okoro. He fit the timeline of the rebuild. He was a goofball, fun guy. He was willing to do whatever it took on the defensive end. But at the end of the day, basketball is an offensive sport, and it's becoming more of that day by day. And Okoro, in those big games and big moments in the playoffs, he was just unreliable in terms of knocking down wide open shots. But now you're getting Lonzo. He naturally is just an elite perimeter defender. He's tall and he's a shot creator. He can run the offense. So you're getting the full package with him, and he also is not going to be expected to carry any sort of load. He's just going to be a bench player, so he's an added bonus. The biggest addition in my eyes actually came late, and it was the pickup of Thomas Bryant. The last few seasons, the Cavs have not had a true backup big. Obviously Tristan Thompson, but come on, he was not an actual option. He was just a victory formation guy. He was the guy you threw in the last 3 minutes in a blowout. Thomas is an insurance piece. Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen both aren't going to be healthy all 82 games. Having him allows for more rest days. This is going to better prepare this team for what really matters, and that's April. That's the playoffs. Bryant is only 28 years old. I know he feels like he's older, and he arrives from the Indiana Pacers, where he played a key role during their journey to the 2025 NBA Finals. During the 2024-25 regular season, Bryant appeared in 66 games, so he was out there. He averaged 6.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 0.6 blocks per game. He shot an efficient 50.8% from the field, 32.4% from behind the arc, which is actually pretty solid, and an outstanding 85.9%, basically 86% from the free throw line, showcasing his value as a big who can stretch the floor and knock down free throws in those high pressure moments. And while Bryant's role on offense wasn't the biggest, he carved out a niche as a hard-working rebounder and a capable finisher around the basket as well. I know I'm kind of getting in depth with him, and I was kind of brief on Lonzo Ball, but that's because I already made an entire video on Ball, so I'm going to link that in the description or at the end of the video. You'll see it. Please be sure to watch that one if you haven't yet. But getting more in depth on Bryant, his box score production was steady across March and April, with double-digit scoring nights sandwiched among quieter stints. For example, in late March, he posted 13 points on 71% shooting against the Charlotte Hornets and had a strong 12.7 rebound game against the Wizards just a few nights later, which demonstrated short bursts of impact off the bench, which the Cavs are definitely going to need in those type of games throughout the regular season when Mobley or Allen need rest, or when one of them isn't feeling the best. Either they're sick or they're sore from one of the games they had in a bigger setting against the Celtics. Well, not the Celtics, they're not going to be good this year because Tatum's out. Maybe the New York Knicks. Now moving on, I want to talk about the next big man the Cavs signed, and that is Larry Nance. He was kind of forgotten when people are talking about this offseason, but I think he was a big addition. Obviously, he's not going to play every single night. He's 32 years old. He was signed to a 1-year minimum contract, specifically to also round out the Cavs big man group behind Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. He's anticipated to play backup power forward and center, plugging gaps when the primary bigs need a breather, or in scenarios where they're in foul trouble or injuries come into play, kind of just like I talked about with Thomas Bryant. Obviously, Dean Wade is still on the team. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of him. I think he can have his moments. I think 2 or 3 years ago it was where he absolutely took over and basically by himself beat the Celtics in that one regular season game. But in the playoffs, I have not been impressed with Dean Wade. Most of the time, he's not even available. And that's where I think Nance comes into play. I think he's going to play 8 to 12 minutes per game. Sometimes he's going to be on the DNP, which is the did not play list or coach's decision list if you're new to basketball. But overall, I like the addition. He already has ties to the organization. He has continuity. Obviously, his dad's a Cleveland legend, so he's going to be a fun player to follow this year. He's older. I don't expect him to do a lot, but I like the addition. Looking at Nance's most recent healthy stretch with the Atlanta Hawks in 2024, he averaged 8.5 points, 4.3 rebounds, and also 1.6 assists in just over 19 minutes a game at 19.3. His year was ultimately cut short by a right knee injury, and he shot 51.6% from the field and a career best 44.3% from 3, but it was on limited volume, just 3 attempts per game. But I think it's likely sustainable. I think that he's really, as he's gotten older, improved his shooting because he knows he's not going to dominate inside anymore. He's kind of changed the way that he plays, so I think he was a very valuable addition. I think realistically we could see him get 4 to 6 points per game for this team, 2 to 3 rebounds per game, and also an assist with about 35% to 40% shooting from 3-point range. And then beyond him, there's guys like Craig Porter Jr. He's reliable, but he's going to be limited within his role once again. But I think he could be a big piece to kind of help Donovan Mitchell rest. Same with Garland, especially to start out the year because Garland is hurt like he always is. I'm sorry to be the one to say it, but he hasn't been available when the Cavs have needed him the most. And then there's also Tomlin. He's a guy who the Cavs have developed internally. I'm excited to see what he can provide. He's another guy who kind of stood out in Summer League. It's going to be interesting, man. There are so many guys throughout this team beyond just the top 4 that can step up and will need to step up throughout this season. And I'm going to make videos about it probably after this preseason game. I want to get a sense for who's playing and who Kenny Atkinson is relying on because I think who we see step up in the preseason is who we're going to see step up in the actual regular season down the line when guys get hurt and stuff like that. But I'm just rambling right now. That's all I got for this video. I want to show you guys more of what was said at Media Day by some of the guys because in my last video I only showed a few short clips of like Lonzo Ball, Donovan Mitchell. So here's what some of the other guys had to say.
Biggest goal is championship. That's the ultimate goal, and I think this year we're ready for that.
Stay healthy, one. That's my number 1 job right now. Is stay healthy. Number 2, keep everybody on the same cylinder. Keep everybody above what they expect. Keep everybody engaged. Keep everybody locked in together. I'm the leader of this group, so got to be the head of the snake.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point. Let me know what you guys thought and what you are expecting for this upcoming season. Is it more of the same? Do you think this team is going to level up and transform themselves? There's really nobody in their way, and that's what just has me so excited. But yeah, let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.